Welcome to another episode of Movie Talk Mondays. So, for those of you who don't know what Movie Talk Mondays is, let me explain it. So, the Seez Monroe show is more about film and TV and critiquing them. Movie Talk Mondays is more about the business of film and TV. It's breaking down everything that's going on behind the camera, from the investors to the studios to, what just pretty much the business aspect of things, all right? So today we're going to be talking about the Paramount move. If you guys haven't heard, Paramount is planning to sell. I kind of seen this coming. Reason being is I'm a big boxing fan. And I love boxing. Like, that's my number one sport that I watch. And I started to see that Showtime was getting rid of boxing. Paramount owned Showtime. So I kind of thought that that was one of those moves to like free up some money. But then I realized that there is nothing else in the tuck. So I kind of felt that something weird was going on. And I believe this was back in October is when they started selling everything off. And they got rid of like just a lot of their boxing content. And then came the rumors last month, December, around the middle of December. They started talking about Warner purchasing Paramount. Why did that make so much sense? Because HBO used to run boxing. So HBO would be the perfect people to take over Paramount. But Paramount no longer runs boxing. So now I'm scratching my head. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, why would this happen? Why would they sell off and then they want to sell over to HBO or Warner Brothers? By the way, Warner Brothers owns HBO. Why would that happen, right? Maybe because HBO has their own contracts with boxing. And then you have the DAZN deals, which DAZN is doing a lot of business over in UAE, the United Arab Emirates, right now. So again, this is stuff is just all over the place. But they're focused on selling Paramount. Paramount is looking to sell and to the highest bidder, I'm guessing. What kind of confirmed it is when I see that the Hollywood Reporter reports that Tom Cruise is selling or is setting up shop over at Warner Brothers. Tom Cruise is a real big like investor into Paramount. If you guys haven't noticed, all of his big movies come from Paramount, from Top Gun to the Mission Impossible films. It's all Paramount, right? Now he's setting up shop at Warner Bros. Lot. So what does that mean? This is obviously what's going on and what's about to happen. If you guys don't know that Paramount lost a lot of money with Mission Impossible 7, I believe. Yeah, that was Mission Impossible 7. Let's do some research. I'm here. This is another reason why I love doing this from the desk, because I can actually look these things up while I'm talking to you guys. So the movie cost them approximately, let's just say 300 mil. And it made $567 million. If you guys have seen Mission Impossible 7, it's not a great film. Like, by far. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, I feel like, was one of those films that they definitely needed to go back to the writer's room with. But I remember they were having a lot of problems with filming this because they were filming this during COVID, like the height of COVID. So they were having a lot of problems with people keeping on masks. All this other drama was going on behind the scenes. So again, this movie, and also this movie was put on hold at one point in time. So again, when people don't know about films, if they are being held somewhere, investors are invested in that film. So let's just say I invested $5 into this film. This film needs to be released in order for me to get my money back. So if they don't release it, as the bank that gave them the money, the $5 to make this film, I'm gaining interest on my $5 because they haven't released this film to pay me my money back yet. So that's what was going on with this, and I feel like that's what accumulated most of that $300 million budget, and that's not to mention in marketing, how much money they put into marketing with this film. But that's neither here nor there. But back to Paramount selling to Warner. I feel like that was the nail in the coffin for me. That was when I knew for sure that this was happening. When I heard that Tom Cruise is setting up shop at Warner Bros. Lot. From that point on, I know that this is happening. There's no turning back. Tom Cruise is who he is for a reason. It's a wrap. Paramount is selling to Warner Bros. Pros and cons of that. Pro is we're going to get a lot more great content, but it's going to come from one studio house. I really don't understand. There's really not much to say here. Paramount Plus, you could probably throw that out the window. It's probably not going to be a thing. Everything's going to roll over to HBO Max. Now, the con. I'm not an HBO Max guy. Reason being, it just costs too much for the content that they have on there. And there's like 3 shows that I want to watch on there. One of them's like Ballers. The other one's like Winning Time. And there's really nothing else that keeps me over there. Most of the films that they have on Warner Bros., I purchased them already, so I don't need the streaming service to do any of that stuff. But I do want to see boxing come back in a major way again, back to DAZN. I believe they want to push DAZN as the front runner for boxing. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think that DAZN has the capital to do so. But they are over in Saudi Arabia doing a lot of business, so maybe so. And as you know, the Saudis, they have the money to do so. So if it does happen, I'm with it. I just need better fights to be happening. And also the fight timing. Those fights take place. They start at like 11 in the morning. And they're not over till about 6 at night, 7 at night. Because of the time difference from us in Saudi Arabia, it just doesn't work out so well. So hopefully they can do something funded here, like, and make it that is happening here, but it's funded by Saudi Arabia, some way, shape, or form. Probably not going to happen. Wishful thinking. Who am I? We're going to see. But hopefully that happens. We have to do something with that because boxing is just one of those things that I'm not giving up. I've given up basketball. Never really watched football like that. Boxing is just one of those things I have to stay on. That is my thing. I love boxing. But as far as more movie news, let's get into it. Disney. So you guys are aware of the Jonathan Majors situation. He was found guilty. He was let go from Disney. That's not the first time that Disney has made a terrible mistake in 2023. It's just not, right? Disney is having this problem with finding their identity again. After the pandemic, I feel like Disney just fell off to oblivion. Like they've been doing everything in their power to keep people happy. And sometimes with that, you're not going to be able to keep everybody happy. Like right now, you're trying to keep the investors happy with pretty much trying to create this farm over here at Disney Plus, this beast of a machine. Problem is with Disney Plus, by the way, when I had Disney Plus when it first came out, it was like $6. And if you purchased it for like a year or it was like 3 years, you got it for like $150 for 3 years or something like that. Again, everyone knows that it wasn't going to stay at that price. It just doesn't make logical sense business-wise. The problem I have with Disney Plus is not that it's damn near $15 right now. The problem I have with Disney Plus is it's $15 and there's nothing really keeping me there. You can't throw out a Marvel show every now and again and expect me to keep my $15 membership. One, those Marvel shows aren't good enough. Two, it's streaming. So anything that's streaming, I can pretty much pick up anywhere for free. Honestly, let's be real here. We all been there. We all have these devices. I'm not going to name any devices, but we all have these devices, guys. Thirdly, I feel that Disney needs to go back into the theaters, even with their shows. If you guys know anything, if you look behind me, that is my screen. That's my movie theater. This is my home theater. It's a cinescope screen. That's why it's rectangle. So that means it is it's shot, if a film is shot in scope, which is 2:3:9:1, whatever, right? Regular TV is shot in 16:9. Kind of like this video. When Disney makes their shows, it's shot in scope. So for my screen back there, it is shot for me to be looking at it on my screen. So if there's shots for me to be looking on my screen, that means it can easily be transferable to a movie theater screen. Because that's what I'm basing my home theater off of, movie theater screens. With that, if we were to say Secret Invasion when it first came out, because I was excited about it, and it's one of my favorite Disney Plus shows. It doesn't deserve the hate that it's getting. 4 out of the 6 episodes were great. On average, that's a C plus. Like you got to get what you get. You know what I'm saying? If I was told, okay, I'm not a week to week guy. We had to wait week after week to watch these episodes. If I was told that if I came to the theater and I was able to see these episodes a week early or 2 weeks early, I would pay money for that. Not only do I have a $15 subscription, it's not $15. It's close to $15. We're just going to say $15. Not only do I have to pay this $15 subscription, but in order for me to see something early, I can go to the theater, pay whatever, another $6 to go see it early. That is more money in Disney's pocket. Why wouldn't you do that? Guess who's picked up on that ideology? Amazon. So with Gen V, they had certain showings at movie theaters to see how it tested, but in all reality, I believe that they were really wanting to see that if it'll work in a movie theater setting. Because honestly, if The Boys season, what are they on, season 4 right now? If The Boys season 4 comes out and they say, hey, you can come see it at the movie theater a week early for this amount, who's not jumping on that idea? Who's not jumping on that? Me as a fan, if I really want to see something early, I'm going to go pay for it. That's just me. And I feel like Disney is not grasping that concept. So it has to do with the management over there. It has to do with, it comes from the head. It comes from the CEO. They need to fix what they have going on over there. I believe they fired Bob Chapek. Now we're back to Bob Iger. And I understand everything's not going to turn back over in a day, but we have to do something because we're losing interest over here. By the way, that Goosebumps show on Disney Plus, phenomenal. Like, they did an amazing job. The last couple of episodes, but overall, it was a great show, and I feel like they did a wonderful job with it. Now, another thing that threw me off, I thought it was for like more family-driven show. It was not. It was definitely for adults. Be cautious if you go to watch this. Well, what's on our docket now? Let's get in. Since we were talking about studios, let's keep it going with the studios. Universal. I want to give kudos to Universal because I feel like they've been doing everything in their power to not only feed the cinema, but they also feeding the fans with this Peacock, or I'm pretty sure it's called Peacock, with their streaming service. Now, their streaming service is probably not doing great. Neither of these streaming services are. Don't let them lie to you and tell you that these are phenomenal, great ideas. The problem is with the streaming services and what Disney jumped on, and I feel like what they jumped on first was back in the 1950s, 60s, whenever, they made it illegal for studios to own their own movie theaters. So with streaming, they felt like they were going to get into this bowl of, hey, we have all this money and we're going to keep it in-house. But it just doesn't work like that. You have to understand that people want to get out of the house. If I'm streaming everything at home, great. And again, 9 times out of 10, if it's on by TV, if it's something that's streamable, it's something that can easily be stolen and I can watch it somewhere else for free. That's the problem. That's one problem with streaming. The second problem I feel like is with streaming, I'm paying $14. Normally a ticket is $14 to go see something, right? If I'm paying $14, I have a family of 6. What's 14 times 6? You do the math, whatever that is. I'm paying that to go see a movie at a movie theater, and I'm seeing it once, and this is one day flat. If my family and I loved that movie so much and we wanted to go see it again, guess what? You would have had to go get another $14 from all of us. Or I would have had to wait till it came to home video. Whoa, I'm dating myself. Wait till it come to home video and I have to purchase it that way, right? Either way, you're getting my money twice. With streaming, you're getting my money once a month and I can enjoy this with as many people as I want. Not about password sharing or anything like that. Just the people in my household. Or if I wanted to call friends over and we wanted to watch a movie together. I gave you $14 this month. That's all you're getting from me, right? So that it is what it is as far as that. If they like it, I love it. But I just feel like it's the dumbest idea ever. It doesn't make great business sense. But I get it. You're trying to get these fans back in, but this is not the way to do it. Trust me. Back to Universal. I like what they're doing. Like, they have a variety. They're very diverse as far as their content. When you think of Universal, you're going to automatically think of animated films like The Bad Guys, Minions, Despicable Me, all that other good stuff. But then you also turn around, flip side, you think of things like Oppenheimer. You know what I'm saying? Then you flip it around, then you think about Blumhouse and the horror films. They have on top of that, you got Fast and Furious movies. Like, they have a variety of content, and they're not sticking to just one type of film. Now, again, most of my favorite films have came out of that studio straight out of Compton, but I feel like they know what they're doing over there, and I think we need to start taking heed. These other studios need to start taking heed of what Universal is doing and kind of go that route as far as their content and as far as their business sense. So again, big up to Universal, and I believe Comcast owns Universal, so big up to Comcast. The last thing I wanted to get into is this is because I've been talking to a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, not a lot of people have said that they like this film, but it was a good 3-4 people that I talked to, and they were just like, I thought the film was good. And I just feel like we have to talk about this. And that's going to be Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. What is it called? Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom. I'm sorry. Aquaman 2. It was probably the worst film I've seen in 2023. I promise you that. And I said this on the Seez Monroe show, but I wanted to reiterate it here on Movie Talk Mondays. Reason being, Aquaman 2, it really made no sense. As a film, it didn't come together well. And I know there was a lot of behind the scenes drama with Amber Heard and Jason Momoa, and I want to work with her and all this other stuff. Cool, but not saying that they showed that on screen, but I don't feel like they showed anything significant on screen. Like, I'm okay with just an action-packed, goofy movie. Like, give me that all day. Expendables PG-13 version, I'm with it. Not Expendables 3 though. They could have did a lot better with that. But as far as the action goes in a superhero film, I'm with it. But when you have these you have these comic book films, you have the storyline, you have everything you need, the plot, the direction to go. All you really have to do is translate that over to screen. And sometimes what these guys do is they want to come up with a better idea to transfer it over. And Aquaman is not the greatest guy to make a film off of because he's probably the worst superhero out there. Not Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is probably a great guy. It's just Aquaman. Nobody cares about Aquaman. It is not a guy that you want to go to. Justice League, I'm pretty sure, was not thinking about Aquaman saving the world. It's just not it. Marvel is going back to Disney. Marvel has done this thing where they can make people that's not interesting. Like, Iron Man was a B-list character and they made him this guy that MCU cannot live without. Namor the Submariner, another guy that we really don't care about. You brought him to the forefront, and now we really want to know more about him. Black Panther, you really don't care about him, but you brought him to the forefront, and this movie it was the highest grossing movie in America in 2018. So I get it. DC were just not there. Warner Brothers were just not there. We're going to get there, but you need to take your time. You guys need a producer, an executive producer like Kevin Feige on your side that's going to make sure these things come to light. But right now, let's fix this thing that we have going on with the DC universe, with the DCEU. You have Batman going on over here, The Batman with Robert Pattinson and all this other stuff. You guys need to focus on what you're trying to do. Stop having things running concurrently because it doesn't work in the long run. You have the Batman with Robert Pattinson right now. Was it 2024? Maybe give them to 2030. And then you can start your thing, right? Then you go from there. But right now, you guys need to focus on your main guy and what you have going on. All right? And that's my piece, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in on Movie Talk Mondays. I'll see y'all next week, hopefully. I'm going to start doing these regularly. I promise you I will. I just need to get a better schedule. I'll be having a lot going on, guys. I hope you guys understand. And I want to start doing these live, but personally, I don't trust myself. Let's just be honest. All right? I'll see y'all next week. Fingers crossed. All right? Peace.